So without further ado, I should introduce Marie van Hertrik with peer mentoring into employment as an opportunity for mutual growth.
Hello, I'm really honored to be here. And let me share my screen. That should work. Okay, so I'm here to talk about our two-lap mentoring into employment program. I'm the founder and managing director of Neurodiverse Advocacy Partnership. We are a grassroots autistic-led organization that found by autistic people who realize that, as you know, there aren't any services for autistic people, for autistic adults, especially the so-called with low support needs. So we decided to create those services ourselves, and this is what NDSA is all about. And our mission is the support and enablement of neurodivergent people to lead healthy, fulfilling lives, achieve their life goals, and realize their potential. And I'm saying that because this purpose of achieving goals and realize potential is really important in the services we develop. And mentoring as such is a process, it's effective when it's goal-directed and time-limited, so there is a purpose to it. Our mentoring into employment program is called TULAP. And the purpose is to help mentees to progress towards their career goals, such as finding employment that they wish to pursue, suitable employment, finding volunteer placement, or applying to a suitable course, and very importantly, to achieve another goal which is related to well-being or something else that is very personal, and to develop career skills. By career skills, we mean how to promote yourself in the job market, how to succeed in recruitment, how to have a successful start, and retain the job, as well as becoming self-employed. So the program is all about finding the pathway, finding the route into a suitable career. So that's what we wanted to achieve. The program is comprised of three parts. Of course, one-to-one mentoring, an online course, which is essentially a series of thematic webinars with discussion, and a support group. An online support group is a really important part of the program. Our program was free and is free, and it involves structured mentoring. I will come back to this in a little moment. Our majority of our mentors are autistic, and we are really looking to recruit autistic mentors. It's online via the forum or Zoom or similar media. And what is important is designed entirely in co-production with autistic people. Essentially, it's based on research by Damian Milton, who ran a pilot mentoring into employment program. It was a general mentoring program, not specific to employment. So this has applied his concept and was designed with his participation, and he's also training our mentors in autism. So it's a program that's co-produced, it stands on the shoulders of his research, has run this extensive research into what services could be practically helpful to autistic people, and that was that fed into his pilot of the mentoring program. And our program is designed based on his stand on the shoulders of his research, and also is designed with his participation. He is one of our mentor trainers. And essentially, the program is based on the idea of double empathy problem theory, which is that autistic people are better at understanding each other, communicating with each other, and empathizing with each other, and therefore at helping each other. So it is designed by autistic people and delivered as a autistic peer-to-peer mentoring program. Okay, and that's the lovely photo of Damian. So what is mentoring? It is a goal-oriented relationship which involves giving directions, providing some leadership, coaching, advice, training, support, and basically motivating for success. But importantly, it is really helping the mentees to structure and clarify their thinking. So it's all about, it's in co-production, it's a collaborative process between the mentor and mentees to help the mentee to understand their own values, purposes, and issues. And this is a very important part of the mentoring program. I mentioned structured mentoring. Our program is underlined by what we call stepping stones, which it's like a path, a guide path for the mentors and mentees to follow. And it starts with understanding oneself and how autism affects us, and creating a personal profile which emphasizes all the strengths, talents, and achievements, all the positive things about the mentee and as a mentee, as an autistic person in the workplace. And then discussing various opportunities, taking a structured, much broader look, exploring many alternatives, and also looking into the routes into employment. What kind of route can help to achieve goals. And then, of course, the program involves developing tools such as CV, interview practice, very important tools of well-being in order to keep positive through the rejection, which is quite typical, in the application process. And disclosure and reasonable adjustments, of course, as well as self-employment, starting work, and so on. The Mentee journey starts with registration, filling the application form on our website, and then we welcome them in a support group. And this is really a very important part where Mentee learn and support each other, they learn from each other, and it also enables the discussion of the things which are discussed in the webinars or in the course, to share experience and to personalize it to the mentee. And the program is comprised, as you can see from the support group, one-to-one mentoring and online course for 20 weeks, and is finalized by the evaluation questionnaire. For mentors, the journey is a bit more complex. We also welcome them in an information group where people start realizing whether mentoring is for them, and how can they become a mentor. We share experience from the previous mentors. There is a mentor support group and an online training for mentors, as well as questionnaires, the same as for mentees, to understand their well-being and how they're feeling and what are their purposes for participating in the program. We do the mentor DBS checks, of course, and they enter into a contract of employment or a temporary employment with us. And then for 20 weeks, they participate in one-to-one mentoring with their mentee, plus a mentor support group where mentors also share experiences, knowledge, and check approaches, get feedback, and get support from each other. And there is also a dedicated supervision that is by more one-to-one support sessions with more experienced mentor, which mentors use for emotional support or for getting guidance and advice or for problem solving. So it's an additional resource for the mentors, and completed with the evaluation questionnaire. We pay our mentors about £13 per week plus holiday pay, which means in total it amounts to just under £300. So we now run 2 intakes of 2 labs. So what have we learned from it? Our program, we must say, as our program is online, so it could be accessed from the laptop or a mobile, a tablet, but some sort of online access is obviously necessary. Our mentees, in the first intake, most were females, And as expected, high representation of LGBTQ+. The age range from 19 to 65, so it was really great to see. From co-leavers to holders of multiple postgraduate degrees. About 73% diagnosed, 13 self-identify, and 12 undergoing diagnosis. And of course, as you would expect, there is a range of other conditions, including OCD, bipolar, PTSD, physical conditions. Only one mentee disclosed having learning difficulties. Maybe there are others who may be unidentified, but the bias, maybe the online nature. This program, is mostly for people without learning difficulties. Our evaluation results show that, as you can see, 100% of those who answered felt that the session helped their needs, met their needs, which is greatly reassuring for us, and that the goals were achieved to some degree or completely achieved. And what we've seen in the program, about 11 people out of 34 have found employment during the duration of the program. This is a huge statistic because it's about the double of what the government Job Center Plus program achieves. Yeah, so it's really a great statistic. And this is during the program. And we are currently conducting an external evaluation. And apparently additional 6 people from this intake have found jobs after the program. So this is really great success rate. I think, we are glad that the program meets its purpose of helping people into fulfilling employment as they wish to proceed. And we also helped, one person who started their probation period in a new job. We helped, supported her to succeed in the probation period and retain the job. At the beginning of the program, we evaluate people's quality of life via the Personal Welbeing Index. This is a validated, widely used tool developed by University of Brisbane, and it asks a number of questions about how satisfied people are with with various aspects of their life, such as standard of living, health, what they're achieving in life, how safe they feel, and being part of the community. And what we see is that the rating of mentors, red is the rating of mentors at the beginning of the program, and blue is the rating of mentees at the beginning of the program. And we clearly see that the mentees are sort of less satisfied with their life, and their well-being is lower. And it's also important, one of the learnings we took from this is that it's important that mentors have a reasonably good well-being index, because otherwise they don't progress with the mentoring. They start feeling depressed, and then this translates to the transfers to the mentee. So it's important that the mentors are quite in a balance, in a good state of mind, so they can help others. This is the result of the evaluation questionnaire for mentees. In yellow is the personal well-being of mentees after the program. And in red, it's the same mentee, exactly the same pool of people, but before the program. And you can see that there is a huge progress towards goal. Better satisfaction with life as a whole. People are more satisfied with what they're achieving in life, as you would expect, but also on feeling part of the community over here. And a very important aspect is, it's not part of the formal well-being index, but we ask this question: how positive do you feel about your autism? And you can see that this improves for the mentees statistically significantly. So this is, we think this is one of the important drivers of the program. Achieving what we are achieving in life, basically self-confidence and self-esteem, and positive autism identity are a very important outcome of the program. In Damian's research, matching mentors and mentees, good match between mentors and mentees was important. So, this we seem to have done, this reasonably well. All people agree with good matching. What's very important is there is a significant improvement in confidence of mentees and mentors as well, actually, before versus after the program. Here in gray are all mentees, and the most frequent answer is not at all confident looking for job. And in yellow are only mentees who completed the evaluation questionnaire. And you can see that exactly the same people who completed the evaluation questionnaire at the end feel somewhat confident or very confident. So there is a huge sort of two-category jump in feeling confident about approaching the job market, which is important learning from this program. And the other, we said that the purpose of the program was to give mentees employability skills, and 90% here rated above. And I'll say a few words about those who are lower. This is another question we ask. I know what my job-related strengths and skills are, essentially understanding oneself and being confident in one's ability. And you can see that there is one person is lower all across. And this is the person who didn't really take full advantage of the program. So what we've seen is that people who get the most of the program get jobs, retain jobs, and generally feel positive and confident are those who engage with the course, attend the support group, and of course engage with their mentor. So, this program for mentees, it's really, you get out of it what you put into it. And, there is there are great advantages to be had, but you need to engage with the program. And we are also working, with some setbacks. We are working on creating this reminder system. So indeed, people, to help executive function. And now, Rahel, maybe you could talk a little about the experience of being a mentee.
Yes, of course. So hi, I'm Rahel. I'm autistic and I'm ADHD. And I was a mentee in the first round of the TULIP mentoring program. Now I work there as a project manager for the TULIP program and for the upcoming Pathway program that will start running soon. So before I started the program, I was out of the workforce for over a decade, mostly taking care of my children. And before that, I was a student. I was a very academic child and young adult, but my social skills were very, very lagging. And the few jobs I had as a student made it very clear that I wasn't a good fit in the workplace. I didn't understand the codes. I didn't understand how to deal with it. And it scared me. So I stayed in academia as long as I could. Then I had children, and at some point they grew up, and I started to think about what's next. And I was kind of terrified of it. And that's when I joined the program. I had a mentor who was a really, really great fit for me, and came with very similar values and a similar approach, and was also autistic. The program itself helped me create documents that I needed, like a good CV, cover letters, networking emails, things like that. And also really helped me gain those skills that I needed to go back into the workforce with more confidence, or sometimes realize that maybe I've developed them on my own in the intervening years. But the main contribution that I got was from my mentor helping me clarify what my goals are, mapping a way to get to those goals, and especially looking at everything I've done, because I felt that I didn't do anything over those years. But like a lot of autistic people, and I didn't realize this was typical at the time, I had all of this experience, all of these little things I've been doing, volunteering here, working a bit there, and I had academic qualifications. And I kind of thought of these things as not having much to do with each other. It was a very, very non-traditional experience. And my mentor helped me look at it and find the common threads and see where they were leading me and how I could understand it as a whole and how I could translate it so employers would understand it. And that was really a gift. And yeah, I'm working part-time now for the NDSA, and I'm kind of rebuilding my my work experience, and I'm feeling very confident about the way forward. So.
Thank you so much, Rahel. And I have a few other short talks by other mentees. I'm going to change the step.
NDSA, Neurodiverse Self-Advocacy, TULA 20-week mentoring course. Look at your achievements, your skills, your strengths, what you can use in your employment. The mentor will go through these different things with you, finding out where you can transfer your skills and use them in a suitable job that you really want to do, not in a job that you're not encouraged to do. You can find out if you need improvements in the workplace where you're at this time. Do they realise the benefits of employing you? The mentor goes through all these different things with you. The ability to work out before doing the job whether it is a practical place to be, and that is really good because you don't want to waste time. Disappointment. Using your network. Who have you got who can help you to find that job that you want as well? Making letters, interviews, CVs, all so many different things. NDSA, Neurodiverse, Self-Advocacy, tool-up course, mentoring 20 weeks. Thanks.
Hi, my name's Monique Crane. I'm multiply neurodivergent, so that means I'm autistic, dyslexic, dyspraxic, ADHD and more. It means that my brain is wired differently to most people, so I think differently. It presents me with some areas where I'm really actually very good at things and other areas where I am extremely challenged. I guess I find doing things that other people find difficult quite easy, but doing the things that most people find easy really challenging. So it's, it is what it is. It's not a bad thing. I'm quite proud of the way my brain works, but it certainly does present challenges in some areas. So one of those areas for me was in employment. So I went self-employed years ago because I just couldn't fill in application forms anymore. They were the bane of my existence because I just couldn't work out what information to put in them. Everything seemed relevant and I couldn't keep the word count down, and I just struggled with them so much. So in the end I went self-employed thinking, well, I can do what I can do well. But of course, when you're self-employed, you actually have to be able to do all aspects of your business well. So I've sought help before, but it became apparent to me that actually what I needed was someone who understood my neurology. Otherwise we're just talking cross purposes, we're not understanding each other. So I went to the NDSA, the Neurodiversity Self-Advocacy mentoring program, and I was given a mentor and I've attended their training. And I've got to say, I went to them thinking that they'd be able to help me with aspects of the business, but the reality is they've helped me with so much more. So this week I'm doing something that I'd vowed I wouldn't do again. I'm actually applying for a post, and I think previously I'd have seen the job offer and I'd have looked at it and I'd have looked at the person's specification and thought, I'm perfect for this. I'd have downloaded the application, I'd have looked through the application, I'd have probably then cried, and in no time at all it would have ended up in the bin, because at least 90% of my applications, that's where they ended up. I didn't need to go to the employer to get put in the bin. I was doing it myself. I just couldn't get past the applications. But this time there's a job going, it's part-time, it's for something that I think really suits me. and it's with an absolutely awesome organisation. So I'm really keen to do it, and with the help from the NDSA mentor, I've been able to take the application form to them, discuss the areas that I find difficult, and actually have support in being able to put the application together. So, you know, even if I don't get this job, to be honest, the things I've learned through the NDSA, they're going to stay with me for a long time. So even if I don't get this job, I think my future is a bit brighter for having been part of the mentoring scheme. Good job, guys.
Yeah. So that was some perspective, and we have others. Now, talking about the perspective of the mentors, you know, we asked the mentors to what extent they found their work useful, and you know, the rating is quite high. But the mentees actually rated mentors much higher, 8.5. So, you know, there is high degree of agreement between mentors and mentees on the outcome. I have the skills and knowledge I need to be a mentor. As you can see, almost all people except one fully agree with the statement. And here again, one of the mentors was feeling, you know, the low mood and difficulties with mental health difficulties. So it's really important you know, to be in a good mental health state and, you know, to start mentoring. How confident do you feel about being a mentor? That's interesting. As you can see, about 2/3 are very confident, about a quarter are confident, and only one person, the same person, is somewhat less confident. So, you know, it reiterates the importance of being in a very good sort of balance and mental health. So what do they say, the mentors? I was blown away by the change I have seen in my mentee and how valuable my own lived experience has been for him. It was satisfying to see my mentee grow and gain more confidence when it comes to employment, but also in other areas of life. Another mentor is saying, I came to the program knowing little about autism and neurodiversity, so the learning has been huge. The key learning point is that everyone is different, and then you cannot make assumptions about what someone with autism may be like. Also, Damian's advice to have humility was really helpful, as was the concept of the double bind empathy issue. I also thought it was really interesting that people on the spectrum tend to also be more open to unconventional relationships and sexual identities. I have found the program to be immensely valuable in showing me the contribution I can make to improving the health, well-being, opportunity of another person. I was unsure about joining the program as a new mentor, as I had no previous experience of mentoring, but I found that my life experience as undiagnosed autistic and ADHD in the workplace, plus the experience I now have in understanding myself, was an excellent basis for helping someone else towards gaining their understanding. During the course of the mentoring program, I supported my mentee to get a diagnosis of the ADHD and medication, and the benefit they saw in their day-to-day life after this was enormous. I was delighted to have contributed to making someone else's life easier. So the key learning from us here is that the program is a joint growth opportunity and learning opportunity, both for mentors and mentees. Mentors learn, you know, the art of mentoring, they gain mentoring experience, they gain some money to acknowledge their contribution. And essentially, it's a peer self advocacy and peer self support, you know, mutual support program where people, lay people, you know, not professionals, with the right training and support can support other autistic people to achieve their goals. And what is our hope is that it will work as a cascade. So people who are mentees now gain confidence enough to start mentoring other people. That's the idea. Of course, we made some changes to the program. We introduced mentor Zoom group, which was not there in the first part, and some other changes. But the big learning is that the key to the program is that both achieve personal growth, gaining confidence, self-esteem, and positive autism identity. And the provision of the social support group provides an improvement in quality of life. This is about our tool-up mentoring program, the employment mentoring program. But currently we are recruiting for a new mentoring program, which we call Pathway. And it's not dedicated to employment, and it's like post-identification, post-diagnostic support program that helps people to achieve the same thing, positive autism identity. It helps to reconceptualize what does autism mean to them, what does it mean to be autistic, and build their confidence by achieving their goals and positive autism identity. So this is where we are up now. And I'm open to question and answers.